All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to crack the code on the language that our entire digital world is built on. We're talking about computer memory, from the absolute tiniest bit all the way up to the truly mind-boggling gigabytes. So let's just dive right in. You see words like megabyte and gigabyte thrown around all the time, right? But what do they actually mean? I mean, can you really wrap your head around how big a gigabyte is? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. To really understand the whole system, we've got to go all the way back to square one. We have to start with a computer's most basic, fundamental alphabet. And that alphabet starts with this, the binary digit, or bit for short. A bit is the absolute smallest piece of data you can have. It can only be one of two things, a 1 or a 0, on or off. Think about it. Every single photo, every video, every document on your computer is, at its most basic level, just a massive, gigantic string of these simple little ones and zeros. But, a single 1 or 0 on its own doesn't tell you much, does it? So the next logical step is to start bundling them together to form the first meaningful words in the computer's language. First up, and this is one you might not have heard of, is the nibble. It's just a group of 4 bits. You can think of it as a half byte. Just a quick little byte of data. It's really just a stepping stone to something more important. And that brings us to the byte. Now, a byte is a group of 8 bits, and this is where data starts to get really useful. A single byte is typically what a computer uses to represent one single character, like the letter A or the number 5, or even a question mark. So if there's one thing to lock in your brain right now, it's this simple equation. 1 byte equals 1 character. That's it. This idea is the bedrock, the foundation for absolutely everything that follows. Every word in an email you send, it's all built from bytes. Okay, now that we've got our foundation set, let's start climbing. We're going to move up the data ladder and start talking about the units you probably see every single day. You know these names, for sure. Kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, and terabyte. But the key here isn't just knowing the order, it's about really grasping the enormous jump in size that happens between each and every step. And that jump is all about this one magic number, 1024. Now, you might be thinking, why such a weird number? Why not a nice round 1000? Well, it's because computers think in binary, in powers of 2. And 1024 just happens to be exactly 2 to the power of 10. This is the multiplier that runs the whole show. So, our first step up the ladder is the kilobyte, or KB. You take 1024 of those foundational bytes we just talked about, bundle them up, and you've got yourself 1 kilobyte. That's about enough space for a really short email or a simple text file. And as we take the next step up, guess what? That same magic number is going to pop right back up again. Yep, it takes 1024 of those kilobytes to make just 1 megabyte, or MB. To give you a feel for that, an MB is roughly the size of a single MP3 song. So that one song contains the same amount of data as over 1,000 short emails. Kind of crazy, right? And you've probably guessed it by now. That very same multiplier is what's going to take us up to the next level. You stack up 1024 megabytes, and now you're at 1 gigabyte, or GB. This is the unit we're all super familiar with for our phones and, for downloading movies. A standard definition movie might take up about 1 or 2 gigabytes of space. And that brings us to the top of our familiar ladder. 1024 gigabytes gets you to 1 terabyte, or TB. This is the world of modern hard drives and laptops. A single terabyte, man, that can hold hundreds and hundreds of movies. But hold on, because that ladder, it doesn't stop there. It keeps going, way, way up. Now that we've got the basics down, let's look at the true giants of the data universe. Yeah, beyond the terabyte, the names just get wild. We have the petabyte, then the exabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte, and even some theoretical ones like the brontobyte and geobyte. And the craziest part, the rule is exactly the same. Each step is 1,024 times bigger than the one before it. It is honestly hard to wrap your head around that kind of scale, so check this out. A single petabyte could hold a high-definition video playing nonstop, 24/7, for more than 13 years straight. And get this, that's just the first step on this giant ladder, right after terabyte. Okay, wow, that was a serious climb. From a single on or off switch to a unit that can hold 13 years of video. So let's bring it all back down to earth and put it together in a really clear, simple way. Okay, here it is. This table is basically your ultimate cheat sheet for computer memory. It lays out the whole hierarchy we just walked through, from a bit all the way up to a petabyte. You can see the abbreviations, and right there, the core relationship that connects them all, that magic number 1024. And here's the dead simple trick to remember all this. If you want to know how many smaller units make up a bigger one, just remember it's always 1024. So what's a gigabyte made of? Easy. It's 1024 of the next unit down, megabytes. Simple as that. And really, this is the whole story. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. From one single bit, a tiny 1 or 0, all the way up to this theoretical, mind-bendingly huge gigabyte, it's all built from the exact same simple stuff. So we've defined these colossal units of data. But, the amount of information we create as a species is just exploding. It's growing exponentially, which leaves you with one final thought, right? How long will it be until a unit like a gigabyte actually starts to feel kind of small?